about strawberry fields.
Real Beatles stuff, not that AI stuff. Yeah. KJ and Lyons, WEEI. Thanks so much for starting your Saturday with us, or spending your Saturday with us. It's like almost like Atlantic time zone dark. I don't know, John. John, did you see earlier this week people got so excited that this new Beatles song was released through AI? Can I get a boo for that, Justin? That's absolute trash. Some things need to be left alone. Like, are we going to suddenly have AI paint Mona Lisa a date? Will they put the head back on John the Baptist? Like, some things you just leave be.
Yeah, I've actually seen the real Mona Lisa, by the way, KJ. A lot smaller than you would think. Like, for painting, it's almost like an 8x10. I mean, it's a little bigger than that, but I walked in there expecting to see this massive painting, or at least reasonable. And I was like, oh, that's kind of small. A cool painting and all, but it was. I was like,
so you've been that close. Does Mona Lisa actually have like a little bit of a mustache and kind of like a little bit of fur?
So I didn't get quite that close because they have that. So when you go to the Louvre,
if they're authenticating it,
they have a. It's in a glass case on its own wall, and then they have a wooden barrier. Which, if you even start to act like you might go across, there's like 5 guys in suits that come out of the wall. Some guy did it. He tried to go under the wood and like take a selfie close to the Mona Lisa. I don't know where these guys came from. Next thing I know, there's like 5 guys in suits that just like came out of the walls and were ready to grab this guy and kick him out of the museum. So, moral of the story: you can go to the wooden barrier. Don't go closer than that to the Mona Lisa.
Be careful what you do when you're in the Louvre.
Yeah, I would guess so. Yeah, and there was only like 5,000 people watching. It's not like the guy would have got away with it. But,
well, the crazy thing is why you have 5 guys come out of nowhere. Those guys probably each make $500,000 a year.
Yeah.
Right? So, because you add up their salaries, if that painting gets stolen, man, that thing is going for the hundreds of millions of dollars.
Oh, yeah.
For sure.
Yeah.
But you couldn't get, that's right. You said you couldn't get close enough.
I mean, I got close
to see
enough
if she had mustache hair on her lips.
I want to say it was like 10
This is
10
way
feet
before
away.
Gillette's.
Yeah. 10 feet away, maybe. Yeah.
Fair enough. All right. 617-779-7937. Text line 37937. We're 2 minutes away or so from the Lyons Den. Let's get to the text line. Justin Turpin, what you got?
We've got this one from, where'd it go? The 774. The Patriot way is about hard work, not being selfish, and commitment. It's not easy to find people like that. That's why Brady and Edelman were perfect for it.
Right. If you're a 6th round guy and you've seen how your college coach was pretty much being blackmailed by a guy who was the starting quarterback. I'll go play for the Yankees. Because when you start getting college football, and you know this, John, it becomes the recruiting war, right? And if you don't want to run things afoul in the state of Michigan with your own players for a guy who's in California. So when Brady gets here, it's just like, oh, you can put me in the game? Great. Edelman? 7th round doesn't mean anything? That's even better. So, yeah, here's one of the things of those tenets that we talk about the Patriots way. Go all in for team. How many times did Tom convert money into bonuses that he didn't collect it to the end of the year so the team could continue to build year after year? I don't think you're going to see a lot of quarterbacks do that in the NFL today. If that's the thing you want to point to me about Brady, then I say that's a greatness that goes so much further than what's going on the field because he gave up money. I mean, that's why I said dude's born in a 6th round manger. I'm surprised he's not from Bethlehem, California.
Yeah, and another piece, too, is he would always be the leader of their offseason program up until the last couple of years when he wasn't as involved in it. But prior to that, I mean, he led the way on a lot of stuff that they did. And taking less money was huge, but also just his approach every day. And again, like we talked about, it makes it so much easier for other guys to do it when they see the best guy doing it.
All right, another one, Justin.
This one from the 207. Why does Bill have so much slack? You let the best quarterback in the history of the game go. Think about that. Fireable offense 4 years ago. If Tom was too old to finish his career here at the Supermax price, he wasn't going to win anymore. Really, what are we doing? Where's the logic?
Yeah, this doesn't apply to like your office job where you're deciding, do we sell the building because we have 35% of the office workforce at home? It's just not the same. Right, like I'm not defending Bill, but if you're at the crossroads, do I pay the guy $25 million a year for 2 years and potentially get hamstrung?
Well, and I think the slack is over now because I think, look, he built up a lot of slack because he won 6 Super Bowls. And because of that, he was able to overcome letting Brady go and Brady winning a Super Bowl and the coaching staff set up on offense last year. So I think like a lot of coaches would not have gotten away with both of those things.
But a lot of coaches haven't won 300 games.
That's my point. So he built up a lot of slack, and he got away with two things that I don't think really any other coach in the NFL would get away with both of those things. So now he's operating much closer to your average coach's level of slack because he already got away with two massive things that a lot of organizations would have fired coaches doing one of those. Pretty much everyone else would have fired coaches for doing both of those except him. So I think that's where now he's operating on a little bit of a different level than he's used to.
Yeah, I think the leash or the rope, of whatever you want to call it, is 5 years. So through 2024. 2024 is when I think Robert Kraft is going to call that margin call in, if you will. Now, if you believe in, after you get into a bad, you're in a relationship, you guys were together for a while, they say split that number in half, and that's how much time it takes you to fully heal. So split it in half again because they were good for 20 years. Half of that's 10, and then half of that's 5. So it's going to be 5 years, I think, that Belichick has the ability to turn the ship before I think they cut off the faucet for Bell. One more, Justin, before we get to the Lyons Den.
The regime must be removed, fellas. $60 tickets available for tomorrow's game.
Regime change.
The $60 tickets for sale tomorrow. Yeah, it's because it's Washington. It's not a good team coming into town.
Hey, I bought one of those $60
So did
tickets.
I.
There you go.
I'm pretty excited. Yeah. But it is interesting because we're going to talk about Craig Breslow in a bit. I think one of the reasons Chaim Bloom got fired, remember that series against the Yankees with the $1 tickets? Ownership doesn't like that.
Yeah, well, but the college students do, and sometimes that matters.
Yeah. And hey, I do, and I'm not still a college student. Wish I was. But
They give them out for $9 for the student, Student 9
that's true.
program.
So actually, if you were a student, you were getting overcharged most of the year at Fenway.
Yeah.
But you don't pay for anything when you're a student, especially at if you're one of the fine institutions here. Like, really, do you bust tables in the South End? Really, do you?
I don't know.
You make a phone call home. They send they Zelle it now. That's too slow. If it's not coming Zelle, it isn't coming fast enough. Unlike when I was at school, it was like, can you send me some Western Union? Now it's not even. That's too slow for these kids today. 617-779-7937. Text line 37937. We're 7 minutes away from Celtics talk, but now it's time to get into the dungeon of.
See the one about lions?
Can't lose to this head after.
King of the jungle.
Welcome to the Lyons Den, where Christians and Romans don't have to worry, but players and members of the media and etc. might have to. The first, you just mentioned Craig Breslow, introduced as Red Sox new CBO. He emphasized pitching in his introduction. Will he roar, or the Sox continue to meow in last place? John?
Oh, I think he roars. I think they're going to be aggressive with pitching. I think they go for Yamamoto. And just look at the pitching market. So I think they go for Yamamoto.